Annastacia Mpala, and I'm the postdoc for the EcoAce team, and I'm here with my colleague Oko as well, and she's the PhD candidate for the EcoAce project. So EcoAce is basically ecosystem-based adaptive capacity through community engagement. It's a 3-year transdisciplinary project, and the chief investigators of this project are Professor Lynn Shannon, Dr. Ruiz Gamage, and Dr. Kelly Ortega-Cineros. They sent us here to represent them, and it's basically a project whereby we're focusing on improving the ocean's adaptive capacity at different multiple scales through ecosystem-based management and community engagement. It's in partnership with University of Western Cape and the Nelson Mandela University, and we're particularly focusing on the Southern Benguela. We've got 3 case study sites, which is 2 in the Western Cape and 1 in Eastern Cape. The Eastern Cape one is the Blue Water Bay, and we've got St. Helena Bay and Milkwood Fontaine. And it's sponsored by the NRF. So why is this work important? So we're particularly focusing on the coastal communities, especially the vulnerable ones, and you can name it from the women, the elderly, the youth, the children. And we continue to see that, climate change, and I'm sure you've heard from all other presentations and other global change drivers are continually affecting these coastal communities and exacerbating the daily challenges they meet every day. So basically, we are coming up here with a co-design and a participatory approach, tools basically to improve their adaptive capacity. And normally we are coming in from a perspective that, we need to hear the small scale side. We need to understand what are their concerns, what are their addresses. And normally our main objective, we are going to do this through local capacity development, so the bottom-up approach, starting with the small-scale fisheries and bringing it up at a regional level and at a national level. And then we're going to talk about it from a knowledge integration perspective, where we want to combine what data we've acquired from the social side and bring in data as well from the ecological side, from the marine aspect. And we're going to talk about it as well, where we're also bringing in the stakeholder engagement, because that is a core of EcoAce as well, getting everyone in the same space, not just the communities, but the formal management as well behind it. So I'd like to talk about the schematic map that's over here. It's a more detailed approach to how we are dealing with socio-ecological systems in a more detailed way, because marine is more complex, it's more integrated. There are a lot of stakeholders involved, and there's a lot of players that are affecting other players in the marine context. So we're taking it as a socio-ecological system, and we're putting in action research, at the same time putting in systematic reviews using the ecosystem models and taking in the qualitative side, because it's an inductive strategy. We want to start with open-ended questions, find out what's really happening using photo voicing, using semi-structured interviews, ethnographies as well, and hoping that these tools will produce these outputs, like for the project, publications, theses, and hopefully reflexivity, constantly reviewing climate change impacts and adaptation practices that are taking place. And hopefully this will encourage a gradual adaptive capacity beyond the projects phase, where we have community engagement, education and training, and science communication, and as well policy and planning as well for future adaptation practices. So really, that's really what the project is all about, and thank you guys for listening.